So Rise Customs released a wave back in December with 3 different Imperial officers, as well as some miscellaneous parts. There are 2 things that I particularly like about Rise Customs. One is their transparency on their product release dates, with most products being ready to sell rather than pre-orders. The other thing is the print quality for being such a new producer. Their print work is done in-house, and they've actually been leased out for projects from Printer Toner Customs, Bail Organa, and Mon Mothma. There is clearly something to be said about the print quality and their sudden uptick in acquisition of projects that make them a worthy producer. However, Rise Customs released a second wave of products just this month with the Galactic Insurgent, Imperial Officer torsos, as well as a data pad and Imperial credits. However, I'm going to start with the Galactic Insurgent, a figure based on Cassian Andor during the events of Rogue One. So this is a character that I don't think we've seen before in this specific outfit, and I'm sort of surprised as to why not. While Cassian was mostly seen with the overcoat outfit, the team over at Rise opted to go with his undercoat outfit, which is seen partially in a couple of scenes. My first impressions I had while opening this one up was my surprise with the quality of the leg wrap printing. It feels very much like a CMF figure that LEGO would release if Star Wars even had CMFs. This is to be expected though, because even in the previous wave, the pad print is absolutely flawless. A concern I had with the previous wave was the face scaling on the product. I'm happy to say this really isn't an issue anymore, and Rise has largely resolved it with Cassian. I wish I had more figures from Rogue One to display alongside Cassian, but I just haven't had any lapse in coverage of other minifigures from the series, both custom and official. Who knows though, because this might just be the kickstart I needed to get some characters like K2SO. Anyway, we've established the print quality is great, but I've seen a few people point out some concerns. For one, the collision between the hairpiece and the alternate expression print. Some have expressed concerns that the alternate expression could have been printed on another head, or could have been omitted completely from the product. I, however, want to point out that placing this detail on another head would likely raise the end consumer cost. The standard passive expression is great, and the scaling is perfect and completely natural. My only personal note is that I would have liked there to be an injured or wincing expression for Cassian on the injured print. Although I understand that something like that would ultimately raise the price of the product on the end consumer, because it requires an additional plate to be fabricated. However, this is really the only improvement I could really pick apart from a product like this, and it's a significant step up from the quality of their previous product release, which was pretty much a test pilot for their market. I am a fan of this figure for its well-crafted leg wrap print and unique product theming that I haven't seen previously. Oh yeah, and before I forget, they even included some matte business cards with the number of units produced and your unit number. Mine just has my channel name, and since the unit doesn't really count towards the total number sold, they also included one of these laminated playing cards that sort of remind me of Fallout New Vegas for some reason. I hope I'm not missing any Star Wars references here. The last few accessories I want to cover are the Imperial credits, datapad, as well as the ISB Lieutenant torso. This torso piece is significant because it shares the rank markings of Deidre Mero, who debuted in Andor with the same Imperial code cylinders and rank markings. I don't actually have any similar parts to replicate Deidre, but I did try to make my own generic ISB lieutenants to populate my Imperial army. The torso shares the same template as the previous Imperial officer wave, and it's a nice addition to this portfolio of products that Rise Customs has worked on. The datapad is by far my favorite accessory here, and is just so versatile with many different uses in photography and for play. Same can be said for the Imperial credits as well. I'm overall thoroughly impressed with what Rise has been able to put together in such a short amount of time from Wave 1 and Wave 2. That's really all I have for now. If you want to check out Rise Customs, you can do so by visiting the link in the description. If you want a discount on other custom products, you can visit Tom the Builder or Bricks and Figs DE and use my code BrickFleet to support the channel.